Once you catch the acting bug, there is no antidote. Instead, it infects your soul, it ignites your passion, and it forever changes the way you see the world. From an early age, I internalized the importance of finding your voice, especially in the face of opposition. I would perform anything that I could get my hands on, and to anyone who would listen. My name is Stephen Love, and this is a story about when I played the best damn black gay Russian my high school had ever seen. It all started when my high school drama teacher approached me about a complex role. She knew that I had some experience performing in theater most of my life, so she decided to adjust the part a bit. The show is You Can't Take It With You, and it stars this overweight Russian dance teacher who's flamboyant, but not quite as flashy as we were about to make him. So I auditioned, and I got the part. I was so excited to tell everybody. And then I remembered who my dad was. Now, my dad's not very open to communities that are different from his own. So the lie began. I told him that I was trying out for the football team. I'm a big guy, so that made sense. Never mind that it's January and football is not in season. I was actually dressing up in total drag every day after school rehearsing this part. He's picking me up, dropping me off from what he suspected was football practice. That was not the case. And to increase pressure further, my teacher would take us to these competitions, and I was winning first place at every round. Not only building the demand for this Russian dance teacher with flamboyant makeup and a zesty personality, but also I felt like this role was in honor of every queer identifying person that I knew. Now, the show is 1 week away, and by this point, I'm walking 5 miles home. Some Jehovah's Witnesses prayed for me along the way, and I guess that made sense because my eyes were dark from the eyeliner and mascara, and I had this thick caked on makeup, which must have been the most waterproof foundation that Mac made because the water hose out back did absolutely nothing to remove before I walked in the house. My dad suspected I was lying about something. He just didn't quite know what. He thinks that I'm living this like double life, where I'm heterosexual in the house and homosexual out of the house. And that's when he tells me. He says he's already been cursed with a gay brother, and he refused to belong to a gay son. And that if I'm gay, I'm not his son. Wow. That hit me really hard. I mean, I think that's one of the worst things a child can hear from their parent. But this show was bigger than him, and it was bigger than me. And if he didn't want anything to do with me because of something as silly as sexuality, that's his loss. And I've never really been much of a rule follower anyway, and I had some gay friends in high school, and I knew if they could live their truth daily, well then I could perform this role no matter the cost, even if it cost me my father. So I decided to keep doing what I was doing, and actually push even harder. Now, it's the night of the show. We're in the middle of the first scene, and my dad is sitting in the second row, and he's oozing with rage. And by my third scene, he stands up, looks me straight in the eye, and walks out of the theater. Well, being the thespian that I am, I don't break character and I keep going. And as a matter of fact, I go even harder. I walk off the stage and I'm experiencing the biggest high I had ever felt in my entire life. I mean, the audience was dying. I'm giving them life and they're giving it right back. I'm up in the clouds. I'm soaring through the air. And I look down and I see my dad standing there. And I'm wearing what I'm wearing, and I'm his worst nightmare. But in that moment, with me wearing what I was wearing, and him standing there, I just knew that he would never understand. I have some scars that reveal the force of my father. But that night, with an audience that was less than 30 feet away from me, that adored me, I was fearless. Lines got drawn in the sand that night, and it wasn't about a character. It was about identity. And how his idea of me was different than the idea I had of myself. So you must pursue your passions and your dreams despite opposition. You must be true to yourself and kind to yourself, even if that means going against the expectations of those you love the most. It took us years to recover from that moment. And I can't say that we actually did fully recover. I mean, I actually invited him here tonight. But he learned something that night. He learned that I would never, ever trade my authenticity for anyone's approval.